This is Nerd Hat.
This is Nerd Hat.
This is Nerd Hat.
Nerds.
Mm-hmm. So we are trying a new setup. So Will, you want to explain what you saw when you walked in?
I saw a fort in the middle of Richard's living room, and I was like, yeah. Actually, I thought you were under here with your kids.
Oh yeah, because
You weren't.
they build blanket for it. So basically, I built a blanket for it for us so that we could get a little bit better sound quality, block out some of the background noise that pops up with the Blue Yeti, because Blue Yetis are really sensitive. Hello.
Why'd you touch it, man? Look what you did to the sound. Look.
Why'd you touch it, man? Why'd you touch it? Anyway.
3 adults under the same blanket.
Yeah,
we're
so
doing great.
We're here.
We're doing great.
We're in a little tent. We're going to have a sleepover later.
Richard, that wasn't... Okay.
Not that kind of sleepover, like a 10-year-old sleepover.
Okay, see, it doesn't make it better.
It doesn't make it better.
It doesn't. It literally doesn't.
Oh, I forgot to record on the other device. Hey guys,
Well-
you get to hear some of our process. Have fun. We're having fun. Are you having fun? I think we're having fun. Are we having fun?
I am very, very confused. How about you guys tell me why I'm here? No, I'm just kidding. No, what did you guys watch? What'd you guys watch? Tell me about it.
William?
XXX, buckets of blood.
It does sound like a really suspicious adult store.
I'm kidding.
Oh. Open for Halloween only.
Batman. We watched Batman Cape Crusader.
Yes, we did.
So is this a cartoon for adults?
No, actually, I think it was made for kids.
It's TV 14, so it's like
Youths.
it's a step above. So this is sort of like a reboot. It's in the style of the old Batman the Animated Series, which Will and I both love, which came out in the early 90s. And then the fourth season came out in the late 90s? Because there was a break between,
Yeah.
I think it was between season 3 and 4.
Yeah, there was a break, and then they redesigned everything. And I
Yeah.
didn't like the redesign.
I didn't either, yeah. But this one is
Except Penguin.
somewhat of
Penguin
a
was
somewhat of a reboot. It's in kind of the same style, this like 20s Art Deco futuristic style for Gotham City and the technology there that was evoked in Batman the Animated Series, but the costumes are straight out of the very first year of the Batman comics from 1939.
Except
okay.
his gloves are not purple.
Yeah, it's not exactly the same, but like stylistically,
Whose gloves?
Batman originally wore purple gloves for some odd reason.
that is odd.
That sounds fancy.
But
Maybe even a little
nothing else was
special.
purple, just the gloves.
Yeah, so stylistically, they're at least with his costume, and then with Catwoman's costume, who pops up early on in the series, they are very much, almost straight out of the comics, like evoking just that style. From the one exception is Batman's not carrying a gun.
Yes, he used to carry a gun.
Yeah, the first.
That's not right. That's
right?
cheating.
Right, the first year or two.
like if
I
Superman
think
held a gun.
He had a gun.
Just
yeah.
in case I need it. Just in case.
I'm not sure what year that changed, but I know
When
at
they
the
just
beginning.
when they realized that Batman was being read by children,
Ah.
and then they introduced Robin.
Yeah, and then also World War II. We joined World War II, so maybe that had an influence as well. Like, oh, maybe we don't need more guns. Let's have a hero that doesn't use guns.
So
Anyway.
sorry, I got distracted. What year is it?
So it's nondescript. Like they don't tell you. Same as Batman the Animated Series. It's like, but the architecture style,
1950s.
the clothing. It's like 20s, 30s.
Okay.
Kind of that like
Okay.
that feel. The automobiles are kind of styled similar to that era, but some of the technology, particularly Batman's technology, is more. Some of it's more advanced. Like, but yeah, it's kind of a cool. I'm trying to remember what they called it. I can't think of the right name of it. Art Deco's coming to mind, but I don't know if that's right.
I think that's right.
Feels right.
But yeah, that's the style that Batman the Animated Series was in, and they're recapturing that with this. So Will and I heard about this project. I heard about it probably after you did. Like I only heard about it a few months ago, and I was like, yes.
It's been talked about for quite some time now. But for the longest time, we didn't know anything about it. We just knew it was coming.
Yeah, I found out a few months ago that Bruce Timm was going to be involved, which he was one of the writers and producers from the original Batman the Animated Series back from the 90s. And he was younger than us, I think, when he was making that. He was like in his mid-30s probably. And that series is just awesome. Like they tried to make each episode like a little mini movie and had full orchestral soundtrack and like awesome voice actors, and the voice director, which I did not notice whether she was back for this, Andrea Romano, but she did the voice direction and the casting for the original series, and it was superb, like across the board, from Kevin Conroy, who did the voice of Batman, Bruce Wayne, to was it Ephraim Zimbalist, who did Alfred, to Bob Hastings, who did Commissioner Gordon, and then they had a lot of pretty awesome guest vocalists, including, and this is horrible for a Star Trek fan. My mind just drew a blank.
Spock.
The woman who plays Captain Janeway on Star Trek Voyager.
I don't remember.
Betty White.
No. That would have been... I'd pay to see a Betty White Star Trek. That would be awesome. No.
Charlize
Darn.
Theron.
I feel terrible. I cannot think of her name right now. My
the
mind is drawing a
torpedoes.
total blank.
Julia Roberts.
Darn it. I'm going to have to look that up. That's going to bug me. But anyway, the woman who plays Catherine Janeway, she also did a guest role at one point in the animated series.
Spock, this reminds me of a story from Norway, where I grew up.
What?
I didn't get that reference, but I laughed anyway.
Golden Girls.
Oh, Golden Girls. Oh, I never watched Golden Girls. Did you watch it growing, or did your parents watch it?
Mandy forces me to watch it.
Oh, currently?
Nice.
No,
They're not
currently.
that old. It's upsetting.
Do you know what's weird is like when it started, like I think at least
No, she's been
one of
on
the
Chuck
actresses
Norris
was like
binge.
only 9 years older than I am now. Isn't that a weird thought?
That is a weird
Like
thought.
50, early 50s. They looked older than that.
They did.
Although maybe that was on purpose. Anyway.
What are you doing, Richard?
I'm looking up that factoid because it's bugging me. I'm like, I can't believe I forgot. Kate Mulgrew, darn it. Why couldn't I think of her name? Kate Mulgrew. She was a guest voice actor on Batman the Animated Series for, I think, a 2-parter episode. She played the Red Claw. Yeah, that's pretty
Oh, yeah, the Red Claw. I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah. Anyway, Batman the Animated Series rocks. One of the best cartoon series of all time. My top.
Really?
Oh, awesome.
Real.
How?
Oh,
maybe
absolutely.
Wait, why?
Absolutely.
Why?
the quality was so high,
Like, okay.
especially compared to other shows of the time period.
Like, was the story interesting?
Oh, yeah.
It still holds up today for an adult to watch it.
Okay.
Batman the Animated Series, while a lot of the other cartoons from our childhood, we liked it as a child, but we tried to watch it now, and it's kind of like, what is this?
Yeah,
Okay.
like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I tried
Yes.
watching a few of those episodes. The writing is terrible.
This is
It's
terrible. How
okay
did I
for
like
like
this?
for 7-year-olds. It's
I
great.
tormented
you
my
know.
parents.
But maybe that's what you get when you have an animated series that was created literally to sell toys.
Yeah.
Was it, though?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
Was
Ninja
it,
Turtles
though?
was.
Yes, it was. It was created to sell toys. But I mean, I loved it as a kid, but I can't. It's not rewatchable as an adult.
No.
But Batman the Animated Series, like, because they didn't, like, they kept the violent, although it was definitely edgy for, I think it got a Y7, which it probably should have gotten a little higher than that, because there's a lot of violence. It's like there's a lot of gunfire, but no one ever gets shot. Which
Yeah.
to me, that's like a running joke. It's like there's gunfire all the time, but you never see anyone get shot. So I was wondering when we started watching this a couple nights ago. We watched the first 4 episodes together. Will and I did. I was like, okay, how long is it going to take before we actually see someone get shot in this? Because it's TV-14, so they can show people actually getting shot and killed. Not necessarily a bunch of blood and gore, but like someone can actually get shot. And I think it was maybe less than 5 minutes in, someone got shot. I was like, okay. So, but otherwise it was stylistically, it was still
Yeah.
very much the same as Batman the Animated Series. It's just a little more believable because you have that much gunfire. Someone's gonna get it. But they couldn't kill anybody. You could have guns firing, but I guess no one. You could just didn't show anybody getting shot. There might have been one episode where Gordon got shot, but they just couldn't show it happening. Like you find out after the fact. But yeah, it was definitely edgy for like a Y7 cartoon. And
Sorry, am I talking about the
original
one?
now.
The original, yeah.
original.
The
Oh,
animated
okay.
Yeah, we are bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, well, this is. I mean,
Why was the one you just saw? What made it good?
And how does it compare to our original childhood Batman?
Nope. I really want you to answer the first question first.
why is it good?
Yeah,
Will, you
and
wanna
then
go-
sure.
You want to go first?
Well, I'm currently wrestling with how it compares to the original, but it's good because the writing. I'm talking about Batman Cape Crusader. We only watched the first 4 episodes, FYI. We would have watched more, but we just ran out of time before the review. So far, the writing is good.
What makes it good?
What makes the writing good?
What makes the writing good? Yeah, what makes it good?
Good writing.
Okay, so
Good
Not
writing
my
makes the
question.
writing good.
specific, Will.
Yeah, like what?
Circular reasoning, Will.
Well, like, yeah. What draws you in? Like,
Batman.
okay,
Well, it seems really tame despite being TV-14, which is why I think it was made for kids, but it was made for older kids than the original show we watched.
Like us.
Yeah.
It's made for us, Will.
Well, it's made for-
Let's be real. I mean, kids obviously can watch it too.
It was made for us.
We're the
but-
target audience.
Yeah, but they
Nostalgia
should
City.
But they could have really made it more mature.
Yeah.
But they didn't. That's my point. So I think that they did that on purpose so that we could enjoy it with our kids.
Yes, I think so. It's kind of like the PG-13 movie
Yeah.
where like those always make the most money, with a few exceptions, like the current Deadpool and Wolverine, which had just passed $1 billion.
Which is not PG-13.
Is not, very much not. But normally PG-13 movies do the best because, a broader range of ages can all go see it
Yeah.
together. So they just usually make the most money, with the exception of rated G, movies that appeal to both adults and kids. But in general, PG-13 tend to be the biggest hits.
okay. So
this is
it
kinda-
is interesting to both adults and little people. Okay,
Not too little, but yes.
like littler.
Yeah, like there's enough in there. There's some things that would go over younger kids' heads if they're watching it, but the adults would pick up on, like, it's subtle enough.
Okay.
Like
So-
they threw in a little innuendo in one of the episodes, but like a kid wouldn't know what they're talking about. Like sort of like Toy Story. Toy Story has
Yeah.
some innuendo.
What to you, babe, like makes the writing good?
So it's I love a good detective story for one. Like it's and these are
We broke his brain.
We did. We did at that.
I didn't think
it's
too hard
it's
about
hard.
it.
It's hard to talk about. It's almost impossible for me to talk about this without talking about the first, because in some ways this series wouldn't exist without the original animated series.
No, it wouldn't.
And the original animated series probably wouldn't exist had Tim Burton not made Batman in 1989. A lot of it is dialogue is good, and it strikes that nice, I guess, TV-14 balance of, like, it's not. It takes its audience seriously, but like it doesn't dumb it down too much, but it's also not trying too hard to be like sophisticated. It's kind of strikes that nice balance where it could appeal to a broad audience. It's almost impossible for me to be objective though, just because I know so much about Batman and I've watched so much Batman content. So I already know so much of the backstory. So I can't say how it would come off necessarily to someone who didn't know any Batman stuff coming in.
Okay.
I feel like I'm not objective enough to say, but a lot of what I love about it is obviously I just love the Batman story. It gets in, I think in the second episode, it gets into some of his backstory, obviously with his parents getting shot. It references some of that. And, but yeah, the dialogue is written well, and it is all adults. Like most of the characters are adults, and they're not it's not a dumbed down version of adults. Like they're speaking, with the exception of they're not dropping f-bombs. They're not it's not a lot of adult cursing, quote unquote.
No.
But
Montoya did say "damn it" one episode.
yeah, TV-14 you can
But
have
that was the first and only curse word that I'm aware of in the series.
yeah, you could have a damn shit, stuff like that. You can have that. But you don't need to have those curse words necessarily for it to be more adult. Like, so yeah, I think I like that each episode, similar to the original, is kind of a self-contained story. There's through lines and there's characters, but each one is also a nice self-contained story. They're following a similar format to the original, in that they're trying to make each one kind of a little mini movie. It's just a self-contained 30-minute. But there is still, just like there was in the original, there's still some character development. Like we're seeing that, like they bring the character of Harley Quinn, or Arlene Sorkin is her real name. They bring her in.
What's her real name?
Arlene Sorkin.
We're talking about the actress.
Although they call her Mrs. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. That is the actress. Wow. Darn, my mind's drawing a blank. But anyway, they bring her in as a therapist first.
Yeah.
Which she was. Her original origin story.
Oh,
She was a therapist.
that. What happened?
Well, the Harley Quinn of the original series and this Harley Quinn are very different characters.
Yeah.
But both characters are well written, are likable. I like what they're doing with the new Harley Quinn. I almost think they should have renamed her, though, but that's just my opinion.
Why?
It's just a different character, really.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The only thing she shares in common is she's a psychiatrist, and in an episode we haven't watched yet, she turns into a Harlequin type villain.
What made her turn?
We don't know because we didn't watch the episode.
Oh, actually, I did watch some of episode 5,
Okay,
so I did get a little bit ahead of you.
okay, good. Do you know?
Yeah, so her character's interesting, and obviously she's become one of the most popular characters in the Batman world since the original. Like, she was introduced in Batman the Animated Series. That was where her origin came from. She was created by the writers of that series. Mm-hmm. And her original backstory was that she was a psychiatrist working at Arkham Asylum who was manipulated / fell in love with the Joker, and then she kind of went a bit crazy and quit her job and became his sidekick / lover.
Wait.
For most of that
Was
series.
he a patient?
Yeah, he was a
Yes.
patient.
Ooh, that's not
Yeah.
professional at
Oh no,
all.
yeah, it's not.
Broke the
But the
rules.
Joker doesn't exist in Cape Crusader.
At least not yet. Fair warning, yeah, we have not seen all 10 episodes, so he has not made an appearance yet. So they're developing her separate from him, at least at this point. But she's already turning into Harley Quinn. I think Harleen.
Quinzel.
Harleen Quinzel, that's right. Harleen Quinzel.
Harleen.
Harleen Quinzel is her given name, and eventually, at least in the original series, I don't know about this one yet, but she starts referring to herself as Harley Quinn. But her evolution in this one starts out, we see her first, she's a court-ordered therapist for Bruce Wayne, because Bruce Wayne...
Which I like.
Bruce
Why?
Wayne...
Wait, why do you like that?
It's very interesting development.
Why is it interesting?
She's trying to get into Bruce Wayne's head.
This Harley
Or
Quinn is
his
a lot
pants. Wait, what?
smarter. This Harley Quinn is a lot smarter than the original.
I mean, she
Okay.
was smart
Okay.
in the original.
Yeah, she was.
She went a little crazy.
But I think this Harley Quinn has a much better chance of unmasking the Batman.
Yeah, with this one, like she probably at this point that is one cool thing about the writing in this one is it's already more female centric, which is a nice change and just it's an interesting change. Like they changed one of the villains, which I'm sure some people don't like, but they changed the Penguin into a woman, which I don't know if that worked. Just
Yeah, how do you feel?
That was a character where I don't know if that was well written. Like the change wasn't handled well. I think they just kind of throw it at you. I have mixed feelings about that one, but they're trying to make it more female centric, and I think where they're doing the best with that so far is the triumvirate of you have Renee Montoya, who's one of the detectives working for Commissioner Gordon.
I really like this portrayal of that character. By the
Yeah,
way.
Renee's great. Yeah, we're following her doing detective work and things, and at one point she has to lead a task force to try and catch the Batman because the mayor is PO'd after the Batman took out some cops.
I was going to say exasperated, but you're right.
Yeah, he's angry, and so he has Gordon send out a task force to try and catch the Batman. So she's trying to go toe to toe with the Batman for a little bit. But so you have Renee Montoya, who's the detective working for the GCPD. Then you have Harleen Quinn, Gotham City Police Department, GCPD.
GC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you have Barbara Gordon, who in this universe is an attorney, a defense attorney, I think, right?
Right. In
Yeah,
the
defense
original,
attorney.
she was a child who was into gymnastics.
Well,
By
she
child, I
was
mean teenager or early college.
She was like 18, 19.
Yeah. But so very different depiction of the character.
And she's married to the commissioner?
No, she's the commissioner's daughter. So Commissioner
Oh!
Gordon's daughter, Barbara, like she was a big part of the animated series. I think that might have been where she was created too, possibly.
No. Barbara Gordon is from the comic books.
Oh, that's right, because we had Batgirl even in the old '60s TV show too. I think, didn't we?
I mean, the original Batwoman was, I think, Kate Kane, but Barbara Gordon came later, but she's still from the comic books.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. But anyway, in this one, at this point, she's an attorney, the defense attorney. Her dad's the commissioner of the police, which he is in almost every iteration of Batman. But three powerful women are her, Renee Montoya, the detective, and then you have Harleen Quinzel, who is a friend to both of them. And in this one, like, now Renee has been a lesbian in several of the
Yes.
iterations in the comics.
Wait,
and
which character are we talking about?
Renee Montoya.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
she's been a lesbian in other iterations, and Harleen has been sort of basically bisexual in a good bit of it. So she's attracted to Renee and asks her out at one point. So like that's another layer of like.
Yeah, so we're not breaking characters.
No, that both of them have had that in other iterations of Batman.
I mean, that was even in our Batman. They didn't make it
Yeah, you could only hint at it back
super
then.
obvious, but she was in a lesbian relationship with Poison Ivy in the original series
Well,
after she left Joker.
yeah, they never made.
They didn't make it obvious.
No, because you couldn't. Like,
You couldn't.
They would have gotten in trouble back then for doing that. But later in the comics, it definitely took that further.
Yeah.
Like,
But I think it was fairly. It didn't go over my head.
really? I never picked up on it as a kid.
Oh, really?
But then
Okay.
I was more sheltered, but I know it was. Anyway, it's so far the stories, like, without necessarily diminishing Batman, I don't think, like, they're more female centric, which is cool. Like, they have a whole episode with Selena Kyle and Catwoman as well, and yeah, so it's like, so I like that change. Like, that's making it interesting. Yeah, and then probably they're developing Renee, they're developing Barbara, but the character that they're pulling back more layers of so far, and I don't. She may become a more central figure to the rest of the season, but Harleen Quinzel is slowly turning into a villain. Like, at first, we think, she's just a therapist, but we know she's going to turn eventually. The question is how in this universe. And it's interesting in this, the direction they're going with it. Spoiler for Will and for everyone else, but the direction they're going with it in this one is more, she's initially turning to, I guess what you might call unorthodox or evil tactics out of a desire to put, like, greedy rich men in their place.
Uh,
Huh.
So it's where it's coming from initially is like she says at one point, I think you saw this part, maybe she's in a conversation with Renee and Barbara. She just talks about, actually it might have been Renee, I forget. Anyway, one of the two. She's in a conversation and just talking about all the shit that she hears as a therapist, like all these, some of the clients she has, which makes more sense of why she was grilling Bruce Wayne and trying to get under. She's like, what have you been up to? What bad things have you done? Who have you taken advantage of? She was trying to get under his skin. And then we find out in episode 5 that, like, she starts abducting her patients, like these rich men. She starts abducting them.
Oh, they're men. Never mind.
And
I was
she's
like, oh no!
And
But,
she's
I mean,
she's
come on.
holding them in this like underground lair, and she's using her skill as a psychiatrist to psychologically torture them, basically.
I am so messed up. I was going like, haha, that's funny. I would watch that.
So like she's using villainous tactics, but it's like initially coming, at least
It's very
initially
clever.
coming from a place of like
Intelligence.
like I want to see justice. I want to see you suffer because
I
you've
like
made
that
other people suffer.
I like that her character's complex. I think that's nice.
Yeah,
Definitely more complex than the original, right?
I'm trying to think. It's different. Yeah, her motivation for returning to villainy is different, and maybe it's a nice, interesting twist. Like, instead of her just falling for the Joker, they're making it more about, in a sense, female empowerment. Like, in her wanting to get back at greedy, oppressive men. So that's better than like, oh, she just fell in love with a psycho, an abusive psycho. Like, I mean, that had its own.
Wait, is he abusive?
The Joker?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he beats her. He. Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
It's an abusive relationship.
Oh no, I didn't.
They're going in a similar direction with Harvey Dent. So Harvey Dent is in this series as well. We start out as a district attorney who has aspirations of becoming mayor. He's a little bit more of a dick right off the bat, though, in this one than he is in, say, the Chris Nolan universe.
Giving the dick vibes.
Or even the original animated series. Like,
Yeah.
the animated
Giving the
series,
dick vibes.
I really like
liked
how they did it.
Two-Face in the original series.
they really did a good job with him in the original series, yeah, because they gave him psychological problems. Like, I think he had bipolar.
I liked his design better, too.
Yeah. In this one, like, he's kind of just a jerk right off the bat. He just wants to become mayor. He wants flashy cases that he can prosecute and put people in jail so that then he can become mayor, become
Big
famous.
old dick vibes.
He usually
Yeah.
has convictions, but in this one he doesn't really.
Yeah, at least not that we've seen. So they're going a different route with him. It's kind of like, which I don't know
But he's
that I
still
like.
friends with Bruce Wayne somehow.
Is he?
Yeah,
haven't-
remember the
I haven't
boat?
noticed it.
The penguin.
Although maybe
Penguin episode.
maybe that's more of just maybe they have history kind of thing. Like maybe they went to college together or something. Or
Yeah, it hasn't been explained.
It feels a little bit more like that, like old frat buddy kind of vibe. But Bruce also has to make up appearances he has to pretend to be kind of a spoiled rich boy.
Yeah, so I got that though. He, of course, a spoiled rich boy would want to be friends with that guy.
So oh, sorry, you had a question there?
So I'm just realizing, whilst I'm sitting here, not knowing a lot of what's going on, I think a lot of my experience with Batman in like the older series is back in the 90s, I had this babysitter where she just like had a ton of kids over at her house. Like not tons, but like 12 at a time. It's probably very illegal. Anyway, I remember the Batman TV being on the TV, which was weird because she was a Christian, so I'm surprised why she had that on. But I remember looking at the Penguin guy and going, "Yuck!" As a little girl, going like, "That guy's so ugly. And I don't understand." And so like that was like
Was this the live action or the
Live action.
Oh, the
Live action.
60s, the 60s version.
Okay.
yes.
Oh, the 60s?
Yes, I believe
Like
so.
with
like
the
really
weird
old.
laughing Caesar Romero. It's
Creepy.
like-
Yeah, just very creepy and just weird. And so I think that's
or he's more like a
so I think that's
Yeah.
my the vibes I've always gotten when anyone's like, "Oh, Batman," I'm kind of like, "Why would you even watch that?" Even though I know it's different now, but that's where I'm coming from.
I
Is
like
my
the '60s Batman.
okay?
I kind of like it too.
Oh,
but-
guys,
It's very campy.
talking to the wrong people.
well, it's meant to be a bit of a joke. Like it's meant. to be.
I don't get it.
If we're talking about the same one, like, so it was a live action TV series.
Live action. I don't know if it was TV, but it was on the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that ring a bell? That's the beginning of every episode.
Look at it this way. I was 6, so
okay.
it was a while ago.
Yes.
Was it dark and gritty?
Yes.
Okay, we're
Oh,
talking
might have
about
been the
Danny
might have been the
DeVito,
movie then.
Batman Returns.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he is very ugly in that movie. If she let you watch
I do
that
not
movie.
like Danny DeVito. I had a nightmare about him. I'm serious.
Is it because he's small?
I'm serious. I don't like him. He makes me uncomfortable. I think I killed him in my dream.
Oh no.
Did you
Laura
kill him
killed-
with
Laura killed
a
Danny DeVito.
Jersey Mike sub?
No.
He didn't die happy?
I just
Okay.
don't like him. I don't like it. I don't like his humor. I don't like it.
Well, in
Is
this
he
one,
still alive?
DeVito, yeah,
Sorry, Danny.
he's his
In
current
case you're ever
his
listening
current
to
series is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like that's his
I
current.
would never
current
watch a
venture.
show that was
Well, I
named
thought
that.
his current venture was Jersey Mike subs.
Oh yeah, that too. He's doing advertising for them. Well, then you might prefer the Penguin in this. Like in this one, it's a female mob boss is the Penguin, and she's like huge. She's like 6 feet tall, huge
Okay.
woman.
And she just
like-
Why do they
torpedoes
call
buildings and nobody stops her.
Why does she look like a penguin? Like what?
She has that pointy nose, but otherwise no.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Well, she dresses in a tuxedo.
Yeah, I think it's like almost like a stage name, sort of.
Oh.
Grunt.
But yeah, back to I think your first question of like, why do we like this? Why is it good? Like,
Yeah, like what was what
it's nostalgia.
you answered like why is the writing good?
it's like
And in comparison to what it was like with the first series. And I think I like the complexity of that you guys mentioned about Harley Quinn and her character, and I like that. I'm curious about it. You've got to be curious.
yeah, and I think it's like, and it's not the writing. It's like the whole package. I think is. I mean, it is nostalgia, yes, definitely from our childhood, but having rewatched the original series as an adult, the reason it holds up is it really is the whole package. Like it's got good voice acting. You know, the direction is good. The writing is good in each episode. The art direction. Probably the only real negative of the original, but they were operating on a small budget back then, so it's somewhat understandable. But like the physics of the fights and stuff was a bit ridiculous, but then what cartoon wasn't in the 90s?
Yeah.
You know, that was one of the few things that was like.
What's the sound effects like?
Sound effects are great, like,
Okay.
and the music is awesome because
Okay.
a decision they made with the original, which was not a common thing at all with cartoons at the time, was to have a full orchestral soundtrack.
Oh
For each
wow! Fancy.
And with art direction, which this one's probably a little different because they're probably using a computer more with it, but with the original, you know, they're still like hand drawing a lot of that shit. So, but
On black paper, I
yeah,
hear.
yeah.
Oh.
The choice they made was to do it on black paper. So it limited their color palette to a certain extent, but it gave the whole thing kind of this brooding, dark look that was unique.
That's cool.
So, and I think they're trying to evoke a similar look. I doubt they actually hand drew it on black paper, although you never know. But they're trying to evoke a similar aesthetic in this series. So it has similar tonality, I guess, if that's the right word. Or
I would be
values,
surprised.
Maybe.
Tonality.
Cape Crusader is probably all drawn digitally. I'd be surprised if they're still using paper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that probably
I
not.
doubt it. Like, I feel like Hayao Miyazaki is one of the few people still doing that, which is gorgeous. I mean, it's gorgeous
Yeah.
work, but it takes him 7 years to make a movie. So.
Ooh. Ratings.
Oh yes.
Well, I wanted to talk about the voice actor for Batman.
Oh
and
yeah.
just Batman
Yeah,
in
we haven't
general.
mentioned that.
Who
Yeah.
is it?
Well,
Actually, you
he
can-
sounds like Kevin Conroy, who's passed away, mixed with a noir detective. I'm not sure what the guy's name is.
Let me find out. But yeah, keep talking.
But since this is a reboot, we really didn't need him to sound like Kevin Conroy, but that was the decision they made. I find it both comforting and
Hamish Linklater, which I have no idea who that is.
That's a name.
and
Oh, I do know who he is. Ha ha!
it's comforting in that it sounds familiar, but also it's something else. It's not alarming. I wouldn't use the word alarming. It's just off, slightly off, because he's talking like a noir detective. But I think that's what they're going
What's
for.
noir? Other than the wine? Noir.
Well, just an old school detective.
Like, you ever seen The Maltese Falcon with Humphrey
Yeah.
Bogart?
Yeah, he sounds like Bogart.
It's
Okay.
like, and like,
I think I get it.
yeah,
I
like
get
some
it.
of the, or like Hitchcock detective story, like, it's
with
kind
the
of
with the ear flaps. Yeah, I got you. I
like
got you.
noir.
Also,
So the actor Hamish
Yes.
Linklater. I didn't recognize the name, but then I saw saw him without his beard, and he was. I was like, oh, played Father Paul in Midnight Mass, which is a horror series on Netflix, which
okay.
I highly recommend. In fact, maybe we should cover it at some point. It's like one of the best. It's one of the most enjoyable experiences I've ever had with
Cool.
horror, and he plays the main character in that. But apparently, he is the son of a dramatic vocal trainer named Kristen Linklater.
That's a title.
So maybe that's where he has some of the background in voice acting. But yeah, he's doing essentially like an impression of Kevin Conroy. So it sounds both as Batman and as Bruce Wayne, because Kevin Conroy,
Yeah.
the original, he would modulate his voice, obviously lower register for Batman, like like not Christian Bale guttural, but just like a lower register, and then he would do kind of a higher register for Bruce Wayne.
and he
So this guy's nailing it. Like he
Yeah.
sounds a lot like Kevin Conroy.
and I love how he differentiates the voice between Bruce Wayne and Batman in this series. I like how he does not sound like a noir detective when he's Bruce Wayne. He sounds like how you would expect Bruce Wayne to sound.
Yeah, I mean he's effectively copying Kevin Conroy's.
Yeah.
Which I mean other people have done too. Like just the differentiation of the voice. I think Kevin Conroy was the first to do that. Because like the 1960s TV series, Adam West basically has the same voice when he's in and out of costume, and then the Tim Burton movies where Michael Keaton plays Batman, he doesn't really sound much different when he plays Batman. But Kevin Conroy really brought in that distinction between the two, like a little bit deeper, slightly more animalistic.
Yeah.
Now, Christian Bale, when he came in, he went like full animalistic, and of course, everyone remembers that and makes fun of it, like, swear to me, that, like, deep. So, like, he took it to another level. He's like, I'm going to be a bat. Whereas Kevin Conroy did not go that.
Kevin Conroy
direction.
did for Batman what Christopher Reeves did for Superman. Christopher Reeves
It's Kevin
really.
Conroy.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Oh, okay.
We're friends.
Anyway, do you want to say more about
Christopher Reeves, this has nothing to do with our topic, but he differentiated Clark Kent from Superman not only by voice, but by how he carried himself and his posture. So that's why I said that Kevin Conroy did for Batman what Christopher Reeves did for Superman as an actor.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Interesting. Sorry, I was just looking through the actress list, and an Asian woman is playing Harleen Quinzel, which I couldn't tell from the voice. Which I mean, that's part of being a voice actor. You can
Right.
do different nationalities, different genders, even sometimes.
Well,
if you're really good at it. But Yeah, it's excellent voice cast. So
Well, Harleen has been recast as an Asian character.
has she? Oh, in the comics?
No, in this show, she's Asian.
Is she? I couldn't tell. Did they say that at some point? I can't tell from the animation stuff.
They haven't brought her race up in the show itself. That's just what people are saying in reviews, that Harleen Quinzel is an Asian woman now, and due to political correctness, of course, she has to be played by an Asian person.
I like that.
No, I think that's cool. Like, if you can,
Yeah.
I mean, if you can get an excellent voice actor
Of
who's
course.
of that nationality to
And she
play an
does
Asian
well.
character, then why not? You know, that just makes sense.
I think we need to go to reviews, ratings. My
Okay.
leg is falling asleep.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I don't
sorry.
know. I don't know how to recover emotionally, spiritually from
This is our first attempt.
this
to-
experience.
We're like
At the
sitting
Fort
around
Studio.
Indian. Actually, we need to come up with a new name for that.
Cross-legged.
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 Yeah.
Golly, where are you from? A Baptist church?
Well, shoot.
Gosh.
Growing up, that's what people called
That's
it.
what people said back in the day.
Native American.
I've weeded out most of that.
Native
but-
American.
Back in the
Yeah.
day, we could
Well, that
just go
doesn't-
wherever we want in the neighborhood.
That's
That's,
not much
that's probably
better.
racist too, because why do you have to be an indigenous person to sit with your legs like that? It's kind of dumb. So yeah,
It's-
throw that away.
It's very
Western
inappropriate.
stereotypical.
Inappropriate.
Okay,
Yes. Anyway,
nerd hats.
cross-legged. Yeah, nerd hats. So
I'm not trying
well,
to be politically correct. I'm trying to be funny.
Wow, so not good for this culture that you live in. So just saying.
Well,
Just-
when we were
Well-
the irreverent nerds, we walked the line occasionally with that, but we were
Maybe
never,
you
we're-
should.
When they cancel me, Richard,
Okay.
you can replace me with somebody better.
No, actually, I think we're both too nice. I don't think we ever really. Got
I
that
really
close to
just
the
want to
line.
remind everyone in this beautiful tent that my leg has fallen asleep.
Yes. Okay.
Okay,
So,
nerd
Will,
hats.
how many nerd hats would you give it based on the first 4 episodes?
The quality is good. I question whether or not it's as good as the original series or if it's nostalgia driving it. We only saw the first 4 episodes,
Yeah.
so I feel like I would need to watch the rest of the series to really give it a good rating. But for right now, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 nerd hats.
Nice. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, like I want to see the rest of the season, to see how the storylines play out, and like the original,
I wanna
I'm
see
like
more Batman.
the original is like 4.5 at least for me, and so this one
Yeah.
can't match that just yet. But it right now it's creeping up to it, so I'm gonna give it a 4 as well. Really enjoyed it, excellent across the board, definitely evoking the original. But yeah, we'll see how the remaining
Yeah.
5 or 6 episodes go, and
I'll evoke your original.
promises.
What does it mean?
That don't
Okay.
make sense.
Okay.
All right, so
I think it means she needs to
All
get
right,
out of
friends.
this tent.
I want you to put your hands in the middle and swear to me.
I
No,
don't
just
look at
kidding.
this. We're already in a tent. I don't think we need to touch each other too. Like, man.
Touching your husband.
Oh, no.
See, this makes everything so much worse because it's just recorded. It's not. No one can see it. No one can see it.
you don't know how he touched me.
Touched
He
his
touched
soul.
me. Oh no. That's bad kind of nostalgia.
Is it?
That song is so weird.
What
Okay,
song?
let's not.
We're not gonna go there, but
No, we're not.
It's
No,
such
we're
a
not.
weird song.
No, we're not. Okay. All right.
I'm in the dark right now.
It's okay. We all are.
It's okay.
Except
Only
there's a lamp
people,
under
only
this
people
tent.
who have heard that song will know what I just referenced, and that's okay.
Oh my goodness.
All right, we're coming up on 45 minutes, which is a nice little run time for this episode, given that Laura's leg is also asleep. So, and my hips hurt. So let's
My
wrap
sciatica.
it up. And Will's sciatica is acting up.
I kid.
All right.
All right, nerds, thanks for joining us. Until next time,
Sayonara.
live long and prosper. Nerds, Richard here. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. While you wait for the next one, I would like to invite you to connect with us online. There are several ways you can do that. You can follow us on Instagram @NerdhatPod, find and like us on Facebook @NerdHat, Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Nerd Hat Entertainment, and of course, you can follow us on all the major podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. Join us next time for a review of Alien Romulus. Live long and prosper, my fellow nerds.
Harley, where are you? I hope for your sake you are not on a date with Renee. Ugh. Because I don't find that funny at all. Harley, these damn hyenas are driving me crazy. Oh well, I suppose I'll have to feed you to the fishes, won't I, boys? Boys?